The 1890 British Ultimatum was a diplomatic crisis between Great Britain and Portugal over the disputed territory of modern-day Zimbabwe. The crisis arose in 1890 when Cecil Rhodes, a British businessman and colonial politician, obtained a charter from the British government to establish the British South Africa Company and exploit mineral resources in the region. Background: at the time, the area that is now Zimbabwe was known as Mashonaland and was claimed by the Portuguese as part of their colonial empire. However, the Portuguese had made little effort to establish a presence in the region, and the British saw an opportunity to expand their own empire and exploit the mineral resources in the area. Cecil Rhodes, a mining magnate and ardent imperialist, saw the region as a potential source of wealth and convinced the British government to grant him a charter to establish the BSAC. Rhodes sent an expedition led by Leander Starr Jameson to claim the region, and they arrived in Mashonaland in 1890. Conflict: the Portuguese protested the British presence in the region and demanded that the British withdraw their forces. The British refused and tensions escalated, with both sides mobilizing their armies. In response to the Portuguese demands, the British government issued an ultimatum to the Portuguese government on the 11th of January 1890. The ultimatum demanded that the Portuguese withdraw their troops from the region and recognize British sovereignty over Mashonaland within 11 days, or face war with Great Britain. Outcome: the Portuguese government, realizing that they were unable to win a war with Great Britain, backed down and accepted the British ultimatum. The British established their control over the region, and the BSAC began to exploit the mineral resources in the area. The crisis had long-lasting consequences, as it marked the beginning of British colonial rule in Zimbabwe and the establishment of a system of racial segregation and oppression that would continue until Zimbabwe gained its independence in 1980. The conflict also strained relations between Great Britain and Portugal and highlighted the growing tensions between European powers over colonial territories in Africa. Conclusion: the 1890 British Ultimatum was a significant moment in the history of colonialism in Africa, as it marked the beginning of British colonial rule in Zimbabwe and set the stage for the exploitation and oppression of the region's indigenous people. The crisis highlighted the growing competition between European powers over colonial territories in Africa, and foreshadowed the conflicts that would arise in the following decades as European powers jostled for control of the continent.